Chapter 1: How to Find the Best Metal Shows. Welcome to Heavy Metal 101, the place for new metalheads of all ages to learn the basics of being brutal. Graduates of this course will be masters of the greatest music scene on Earth, and will be ready to build an impressive resume of all the concerts they've attended. Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee, because class is now in session. We're going to begin your education with a lesson on one of the most important fundamentals of being a metalhead. How to discover new metal bands, and then finding out when and where to see them live in concert. In today's day and age, this is easier than ever to do, but some of the old, time-tested methods are still worth learning. Buckle up and get ready to have your face melted by heavy metal knowledge. Follow your favorite metal bands on social media. I know what you're thinking. Social media? That's not metal. My grandma uses Facebook. True. Social media might not be the most intuitive method of gleaning information about a traditionally antisocial and underground musical genre, but this is the 21st century. Everybody's got at least one social media handle these days, even the members of the most extreme grindcore bands. Therefore, social media is an excellent place to start your search for metal. Regardless of the type of social media platform you use, you should be able to search or filter by certain keywords. If you're brand new to metal, use a broad search like metal so that you see more varied results and can start to learn what you like. If you're more of a veteran metalhead who prefers a particular subgenre of metal, narrow your search or filter by using a term like death metal or folk metal so that you get hits for those subgenres specifically. Once you've done your search, scroll through the results and follow, friend, or subscribe to a few metal bands that sound interesting to you. Their pages will either contain samples of their music and merchandise, or will at least have links you can follow to find it. If you like what you see and hear, then continue to follow them. A metal band's social media profile is a great place to learn when you can see them live, because tour announcements and schedules will always be posted there. If you weren't really into a particular band, then unfollow them. They'll be okay, they're big boys and girls. As you discover more genres and refine your own tastes, you'll be able to narrow and adjust your social media searches to help you find more metal bands you like, and following them all will let you know about more potential concerts to attend. Soon, you'll be moshing and headbanging every night of the week. So, that's one way to find new bands and concerts. Browse heavy metal forums, websites, and publications. Now, I know I just got done saying that every band has a social media profile these days, and that there's no reason for metalheads to turn their noses up at social media as a tool for trendy posers, but let's face it. There are a lot of metalheads out there that still don't want anything to do with social media, and they need a way to find new metal bands and shows too. This is where the rest of the internet comes in. There are a lot of great heavy metal websites and forums out there, and they're not that hard to find. Just open up your search browser and type in something like Metal Forum or Heavy Metal Forum, and you're going to get a wealth of reputable sources for metal news. You want to look for the number and frequency of posts that a website or forum has, because this will tell you how active its community is. An active community means a bunch of metalheads posting stories about new metal bands they found, tours that are upcoming, and other general information about the world of metal. These types of online communities are a great way for metalheads to broaden their horizons and stay informed about the state of the genre. Once you've found a couple of sites you trust and enjoy, you'll probably organically discover a bunch of new bands and learn about concert dates just by visiting these sites daily. If you want to learn more about a specific subgenre you heard about somewhere, though, you can use narrow search terms, kind of like you would on social media, to find results on that subgenre only. This can be done back in your search engine, or you can do a narrow search on one of the websites you already like. Either way, you'll end up with a bunch of results about that specific subgenre, so you can start listening and figure out if you like it. While we're on the subject, and because I'm a bit of a dinosaur, I wanted to mention a classic resource, the Heavy Metal Publication. These are magazines filled with metal news, interviews with metal bands, information on tour schedules, and more. These are treasure troves of information and were the traditional way for metalheads to stay informed before the advent of the internet. Of course, a lot of the information contained in these magazines can also be found online, and a lot of great publications have shut down due to an inability to compete with the internet. Still, there are a lot of great metal magazines in print, and you might want to get yourself a subscription if you're feeling nostalgic, or if you just enjoy getting something you can actually hold in your hands every month. Talk to other metalheads you know. Metalheads aren't always the most gregarious group of individuals when it comes to outsiders. However, when it comes to hanging out with other metalheads, I don't think I've ever seen a group with a stronger sense of solidarity. If you ask a metalhead about their favorite bands, then you'd better be prepared for a long conversation. Metalheads are extremely passionate about their music, and they love discussing and debating about it with other metalheads. On top of that, if you ask about upcoming metal shows, you're likely to find yourself invited to one. If you're new to the metal scene, you may be wondering how to meet other metalheads. That isn't hard. You'll know us by our mark. As we'll be discussing in a later chapter, metalheads have a distinctive way of dressing that makes them stand out from the crowd. Look for black t-shirts with band names that sound gross or are simply illegible. Another clear sign is a person aggressively headbanging while listening to music through their headphones. There may also be a metalhead lurking among your existing friends and coworkers. I can't tell you how many times I've had a coworker overhear me talking about metal and then excitedly tell me about their own love of the genre. I never would have guessed, because I only ever saw them at work, where they were dressed in business casual attire with their hair neatly combed. If you talk to people you already know about music, you may discover something new to bond over, a love of metal. Now that you've scoured social media and the internet for metal subgenres and bands you like, and have kept up on news from your favorite metal bands so you know when they'll be in concert near you, the next step is to get tickets. There are a few different ways to get tickets to a metal show, and each comes with distinct pros and cons. We'll discuss all of these in our next lesson.